Hey everyone, we are back in the kitchen today because we have to do a bunch of stuff today. And it begins with making all of these into this homemade applesauce. I'll show you a super simple recipe and something that you can do with all of your apples that you should be harvesting right now. Stay tuned. All right, so we are going to peel, core, and dice and get them in the pot. All these apples that we have, so roughly about 8 to 10 cups. And then you'll add about 3 cups of apple juice. And then once they kind of get a little bit mushy, then you'll add 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And that's as simple as it gets. I'll show you the whole process here. So after all that slicing and dicing, we ended up with about just over 9 cups of diced apples. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add apple juice, and I do usually the sugar-free, like kids version, just because I don't like a lot of sugar. I think the apples and the juice already kind of bring enough of the sweetness to it. So we're gonna add that to our pot, and then we're gonna bring everything to a boil and get it going. Here we've got everything, just over 3 cups of apple juice. I try to get this heat it up as quick as possible. But what you're going to do is try to get it a little bit to start bubbling. Make sure everything is submerged in here, so I'll kind of move everything around. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna let it simmer for however long, and then you're gonna take the potato masher and start kind of mashing it up to get it to the consistency that you want. I like a chunkier applesauce, so I don't break it up as much. And then once it's all broken up, you add a full tablespoon of cinnamon, and then it is good to go in your cans or jars. As you can see, it's really starting to break down in here. We got a little bit of a boil, kind of a high simmer. We'll probably let this sit for another, I'd say about 6 to 8 minutes before it gets to the consistency that I want, or these get soft enough. And then we'll add the tablespoon of cinnamon, and then we'll put them in our canning jars. So we are at the consistency that I like and my family likes, but I'm just gonna boil off a little bit more of this water content before I add the cinnamon in, and then we're gonna throw it in the jars. In goes the cinnamon, and we're gonna stir this up, and then it's time to put it in the jars. So here is your finished product. You can see like it's a little bit darker, that brownish tint to it when you add the cinnamon in. And then we're going to put them in these 2 jars. You can water bath can them to seal them up, or pressure cook them, and they'll store up to 15 to 18 months. I am not doing that today because we don't have any in the fridge right now, other than that jar that I showed you before. So we need to kind of stockpile and get some more in our fridge because we go through this like crazy. We're just gonna ladle it in, and fill them up. It's about a 1/2 inch of headspace. Put a lid on, and then let them cool down to room temperature on the counter here, and then they can go in the fridge. And these will last up to usually about 14 to 18 days in the fridge. So there you have it today, everyone. That's a super simple recipe to make homemade applesauce that you can and preserve, or just have it in your fridge ready to eat whenever you want, to add to ice cream or whatever your favorite treat is, or just eat it by yourself. So thanks for joining me today, and hope to see you guys next time.